I really, really, really like this.
Discipline Stoners.
The gateway drug to mindfulness.
Gateway drug to mindfulness. Let's roll one up and take a hit. Gateway drug to mindfulness. Let's roll one up and take a hit. Gateway drug to mindfulness.
That's the best absolute way to
dog
start
is
this.
so cute.
Doesn't that feel nice?
Adorable.
And welcome back to another episode of Discipline Stoners. I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie,
and we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And today, if you know cannabis, you know our next guest.
Yeah, synonymous with.
You don't have to have watched a certain podcast that maybe I've been on, the Green Room. You don't have to know how deep she goes in the performance content creation culture, not only in Toronto, but around the globe, synonymous with cannabis, as well as daringly sexy, I may say sometimes, as even a model, I may even toss out there. But mostly, she's just a lovely human being. And today we're so happy to have on Jacqui.
Did you guys practice this?
No.
We were just fumbling around with how to introduce you, but I just opened this. That was God.
We've talked about making our intros much more professional.
But then this is good.
But there is an aspect, like a free flow aspect to this podcast specifically, where we're like, well, if we fumble and are not prepared, let us endure that pain.
I like it.
Let us
I
work
like
through
the way
together.
you start. I like your intro.
This is actually really cool because you're the first person we've had on for a second time.
I've never really, haven't I? I've never been on Discipline Stoners.
Yes, you have.
Oh, yes, I have during the pandemic.
Yeah.
That's right. You're like, yes, you have. Oh, that's right. I
Yes.
was like, I was just chatting with Ellevan, I thought.
Yeah.
But wasn't Winnie really new to cannabis?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. And we
You
were
joined
still new in our podcast
early.
too. And I had never
you
had
already know.
I had never had a guest on, because if you go back and watch this episode, I say zero things. I was just
It's
like,
like,
I
really
got
ripped.
really high. Yeah. And you guys were ripping. So I was just like, I'm just going to let this happen. And I think I was just nervous, honestly.
It was a long time ago, wasn't it?
It was a long time ago.
We were. You blessed us early.
So was it?
For sure.
It's got to be a year.
Oh, probably.
At least.
Yeah.
I would think. It was in the winter. So maybe.
And it was during lockdowns
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff, right?
So it was probably November.
I think it was
December
actually a
last year.
week after the first time we met. I do it.
The first time we met,
It was at that Canna Cabana thing.
Yeah,
that was the
with-
first out of lockdown
Matthew
part.
Santoro, yeah.
Right.
When we finally
It was
in
so. It was
person, yeah.
Winterfest. It was Winterfest.
No.
It was
No?
way before that.
Oh.
Yeah, I only got booked at Winterfest because Jess knew me from this party, and I had knew Chef Jordan Wagman from around the internet scene, and same with you. And then I was there with my buddy Matt, who I brought with me, and then yeah, exactly. So just a couple things click, and then we were like, yo, vibes, and then just everything was right to chat.
And I have massive anxiety at those sort of things, and Ellevan was really cool and just really distracting, and I didn't worry about it. And then I was like, you have pajama pants on or something. Why am I worried about whatever?
Yeah.
We're having the best conversation, and
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's
enjoy
lit.
our drinks, then we're smoke some weed, and it was a good night.
And he came home because I also have anxiety and don't go to these things. I'm getting much better at it. But he came home and was beaming, and he's like, I'm at Jacqui Chan. I was like,
It was awesome.
oh, what? And yeah, he was it was just a really great experience
Actually,
all around for
when
the
you
both
walk-
of you. Very synergetic.
He walked past and said hi, and I was like, oh, why am I so nervous to be here? People are not monsters. He had just all of a sudden, and I had just said to my husband, I'm really uncomfortable. And then
guys
he
look
walked
so
past
cool
and
though.
went, hi. I was like, who is
So
this
good.
cute?
Good to see you. I appreciate you. Yo. No, you're just you're a light.
What am I
You're
drinking that I
very
really
central.
love?
That's kombucha. That's my favorite drink.
Grape.
GTS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
This balances the belly.
I need a balanced belly.
I know. We're
Tell us
we
about
all
it.
do. Yeah. I think it's a reflection. It's funny you were just talking about anxiety and then a nervous tummy. That's why. That's what I think the manifestation is. We're doing some chakra work, and I realized very clear, overdeveloped. What's the underdeveloped? Believe it or not, it's that
your
intellect,
gut?
self-worth, and it's right around that gut. And it's I get an upset belly every day. That's why I drink kombucha and smoke so much weed.
And always, when I said I had to pee, I said something after that and it was a rhyme, and I was like, oh, he's gonna think I'm spilling beats, or is it spilling, or
You freestyle flow
people
all the time.
freestyle? We don't spill beats, right?
We should spill beats.
Yo, I'm spilling beats.
Yeah.
Spilling beats.
Yo,
I don't know. I wish I had some sort of talent when you introduce. When you're saying,
about?
how do we introduce you, whatever. I wish I could say this.
A craft, like
but-
you,
yeah,
but you,
like some
your
sort of
craft
craft.
is like your personality,
Mm-hmm.
your contribution to who you are.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
when you come up in conversation in the cannabis within the cannabis community, I've never heard a bat, honestly.
Yeah,
so maybe
so
it's the
true.
people that we're hanging out with, but like people really appreciate and resonate with how authentic you are and how honest you are, and like you're just like, fuck it, this is what's going on for me today, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. And like
That's so important.
This is the one space where, because like it was an influencer in the music, sort of music and travel, food, like a lifestyle type influencer, and it was it's social media, so it was fake, it was phony. If the phonier you can be, the faker you can be, the bigger the whole thing
The
is.
better you
like
do.
you can sit on the fake jets and get your pictures
crazy.
taken, and you can do fake stuff and hang out with, and like jump up behind some famous person and post it like your besties and whatever. And that flew, like that was a big deal, and I wasn't getting any. That was the soulless spot
Yeah.
for me, and I just don't. I didn't like it. I don't like doing that. And then when I started to share my cannabis journey and started to share using cannabis and not having the best, with my mental health is not great. But then again, it's also, that's what makes me great, is that the struggle is every single day. And I don't, like I say, I don't mind it. I don't have a choice. I have to deal with all of the things that are going on, the anxiety and the nerves and the stress and the whole thing. And cannabis helps tremendously. And the cannabis community, far from perfect, helps so much, though. Let me tell you, they either realign me, I either go, whoa, I'm not gonna go that way, like a pinball machine. I learn lessons from, some people I think we're gonna be best friends. I end up learning lifelong lessons from them, and challenging, it's just a more authentic, real space. It really is. Also, I think because cannabis is so new to being legal, I think a lot of the big players or the heavy hitters are used to moving a different way, right? And so it's a challenging space as well, because we don't have to be so clandestine. You can learn to trust and, loyalty and those sort of things.
When you're forced to operate, underneath the radar, there's definitely certain tendencies that start to crystallize, like almost like from a very more intense reality.
Which you can feel a certain, I don't know what it is, from certain people in the industry. Don't you feel a certain...
We talked about it when we went to Oneida, and there was like legacy pop-up stands, and some were making the move and towards more better branding, and some were just thugs.
Exactly.
Basically.
You said it exactly what it is.
And it reflects in the relationships that they cultivate, and there's just always going to be that balance in the universe. But it's interesting you say you're observing your mental health as it fluctuates, and you vacillate, and you go through life, and you take the ups and downs. But like mental wellness for me, by definition, has become that very awareness.
Oh,
Right?
just by
So it's
being
like
aware.
you are actually mentally well just by having the awareness that today you don't feel good. Like that is well. Like the awareness to be cognizant, to be like, okay,
yeah,
I have anxiety right now.
I'm having
like
anxiety.
I'm like baffled by the delusioned folks who are like just still lying to themselves without that reflectiveness.
That's when I talk about mental health, and they're like, oh, you're so open about this, or I can't believe you have this. I'm like, no, there's a lot of people that have this, and there's a lot of people that are going through the exact same thing or worse. But I'm just really honest about
just
it.
letting it
I'm
rip.
just laying it all. Like when I actually go, whoa, which is brand new to me, like in maybe the last 6 months, I will say to friends and family, I'm having a panic attack. We're going to need to wait. I need a minute here. Or I will pull up somewhere and I'm like, okay, I need a minute.
Yeah.
So, which I never did before. I
just
would
meditate.
just go with
Give
it.
it to yourself. Give
And
it to
you-
yourself first.
I'm so hard with, well, I would say I'm terrible at meditating, but meditating can also be my minutes, my inward minutes moments that I have
Yeah, it's
with
just
myself.
stillness.
Just quiet stillness
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
myself for just a second.
Yeah,
exactly
for
it.
sure.
Just give me a minute to regroup,
It's physical
Take a pause.
first. This is a physical dimension, and that's beautiful. Like to
I have
give
to,
your
like-
central nervous system. It's okay.
Do you want some things
tissues?
to help you with that?
What the heck? I just all of a sudden I'm like, why is my nose running?
I think I only
we
have
have a
toilet paper, but
sneeze
we have
buffer?
Charmin.
We got that good soft stuff.
Can I have some toilet paper for my nose, please?
That's amazing.
I didn't do a line before we came on or
love
anything
that.
like that. Everyone's like, shh. I love talking about drugs. I
Oh,
do.
me
I
too.
absolutely
I've
love
been doing
talking about
acid.
drugs. Oh my
Remember
god.
I was on acid
yes.
on your podcast?
See, I love acid.
It's so good. Yeah, we do
you.
mushrooms a lot. I've been taking these mushroom pills. So good. But yo, I love your attitude. Like honestly, like I fucking love your attitude. It's so good. This is the
When
best.
you're sick.
Like, just get it all.
You
Just
know,
get it out.
Get it. Yeah.
Just get it all out. Here,
As I'm-
here, just get it.
I'm gonna compliment you about not giving a fuck as you just like.
Oh,
do
because
your
I
nose.
don't give a fuck
No,
anymore.
but that's what I love.
You know what? I got an ass. Sometimes it stinks. Get
Yeah.
it? Like, you
Yeah.
know, and sometimes my nose runs. Sometimes I sneeze in public. Sometimes I toot. I have Crohn's. You know, like things happen. I think that is the love. Like people love that, but that's also what people hate. Like that's
It makes them uncomfortable if they can't be that honest.
Yeah, maybe.
So when you're going, here's permission, other people are being like, oh no, I could never. And then they find a way to make you perceivably wrong.
Because then I start to think, oh, should I not be? But
No,
But
you
why?
should.
Why would I?
Because it's true.
And so are you how are you finding the responses from people when you have now created that boundary that you're like, I'm going to take a minute?
So, I don't think anyone, this is going to feel terrible because I know my husband loves me to death and he's with me 24/7, but I really don't think anyone actually gets the magnitude or the seriousness. When I say I'm having a panic attack, I'm not just being a silly little girl that needs to do my lipstick before I go in. I'm literally having some anxiety, these palpitations and these feelings that are, it's like the wall is, and I can't get through it. Like I don't want to. And then I was diagnosed almost a year ago bipolar, and that comes with a lot of other challenges on top of anxiety and depression. And like my reaction is horrific. I'm sure there's probably 24 people that are listening right now that like my reaction to regular conversation or my reaction to like just a conversation is really like a tidal wave of emotion and whatever. And some people are like, whoa, what happened there? And that's
Triggers.
very certain things trigger me, and it's very unfortunate because I'm like, if I was them, I wouldn't like me either, because that was
Right.
like I have now I at least know why I've had these horrific and they come out of nowhere to like everyday real no thank you right now. We could just be talking about whatever and my reaction to it is so intense and so concrete and so serious, which I'm not that concrete, intense, serious person, and my mind can be changed and I'm open to others' opinions, thoughts, and ideas without like there is no wall there. I'm a sponge. I like to absorb it and
But
take
you're
my time.
stating the feeling so strongly that people almost assume that that's the all the time.
That's yeah. So
I get that too.
this-
Anyone can get the smoke sometimes. Basically, it's like steer clear and just keep your dealings with me really kosher.
Like, don't you have something that like a conflict with someone that you regret so badly? Like I've got about 12 of them right now that are just driving me nuts.
Well, the interesting part is like we're not wrong in our own narrative. So basically, like I feel like I was attacked for some of them, but that doesn't change how unfortunate the situation was, even if I dealt with that. But like it doesn't change how like I had two great working partners. We set a world record together, and his wife felt not seen by me to the point where she pretty much verbally attacked me, and like I gave it back and it was fine, and I kept it kept it chill, didn't attack too hard, but basically it's like, and everyone identified like she was tripping, she was wrong, but the whole thing was just unfortunate. Like regardless,
like unfortunate is how I feel about certain things.
Like that's like oh well, we were. Your spirit is blind to all the cognitive information that we can calculate on the surface and be drawn into situations for. So it's basically like we're just floating the waves, and we're trying to find a general center frequency that we can both harmonize with, and sometimes those people
Just
who you
don't-
come, it's never gonna click. So like the rings of Saturn, it will just find momentum and just fucking fling them out of your life, basically. Because if a situation gets so tense and uncomfortable, you won't return. Basically,
right.
Like it knocks it out of harmony entirely. Where it's like we're trying to get a momentum in our atmosphere,
And it's
right?
just not
Remember we
going.
just talked about like when we met, it was like synergy. It's like we
Yeah,
just hopped
yeah.
in. You were in a similar
And I've
frequency
called
already.
I've called you a half a dozen times
Yeah.
for like pep talk.
And we
of
just
a
talked,
weird thing.
yeah.
Like I've called
And-
him a half a dozen
and
times
you've-
for like weird
you've
nothing.
boosted me
like,
in the
and I'm like,
DMs
okay, I need to
before.
talk to you about this.
And it was so
is
good.
so important.
I feel you, and I love
I'm having
that.
this issue, and
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm having this. Do you feel this ever? Do you see where I'm gone wrong here? I'm
Yeah.
going rogue on this, and I
Yeah.
need you to pull me back in.
I feel you. No, because we know the situations, we know the circumstances, and often the industry or the players
The
or whatever.
industry.
And we share same struggles like that, just kind of being an independent person out here, like an entrepreneur, or like even like no matter how big your team is, you're still like representing your brand. It's not like you're signed to
And with this
Warner Capital.
diagnosis, I'm confused. So sometimes I think, am I being I
Yeah,
love
I
that Ralph
bet.
is growling at a dog outside. It's protecting me. So like, yeah, I second guess things. Like, is the way I'm feeling right now, is that how I'm actually feeling, or did something trigger? Like, am I about to have some
But
attack or
that's so
panic
wise.
attack? So I'm constantly checking in, and I'm constantly like, it's also exhausting. But I don't want I don't want anyone to have the wrath of the negative side of the bipolar. Like, I feel like I call myself at work a tyrant, and I don't like that, because I'm not that.
Well, then
really,
you don't have to self-label yourself that. I do that as well. I used to
Do
call
you?
myself an asshole, and I still do.
But you're not an asshole.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you see that. But some people,
Think
like
you're an
that
asshole?
person who attacked me, or people who, if I
Okay,
shine
so-
too bright, they can be like, that guy's a threat, label me as a threat, call me an asshole. And I'm like, you want a bad guy? Everybody say good night for a bad guy.
And literally, like, behaviors that haven't been societally accepted become so easily isolated, because people like most of us have this programming in our head that if someone does something perceivably bad to us, it's because of their innate character. Like, they're a bad person
Right.
because they did something bad to us.
Right.
But if we do something bad to a person, it's a one-off. We're like, no, I'm not a bad person. This was just a one-time
So then why are
experience.
they a bad person?
Exactly. So if we can like tap into that, and I was going to ask you both if you have any tips or tricks to like not take things so personally, because I think that if we could
I have
understand,
no tips or tricks.
Yeah, I was going to
But if
say,
we-
I take shit personally.
if we could
All day long.
I know, but how great would it be if we could understand that like we don't know the whole story?
I was super baked last night. Super baked, like
Love it.
120 milligrams plus or whatever. And you just said exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, how come I think so-and-so's a bad person when our time together was really good until it wasn't? And then when it wasn't, I also can see my role in it and the part I played. But why is she the bad person? You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think we're bad. So here, I'm going to say something that's super like controversial in the industry. And I've
Yeah.
had massive hell to pay, all kinds of negative feedback because I have this position.
We love this.
And I don't know what your positions are on it at all. And
Let's
I'm
go.
going to explain my position. I believe in forgiveness.
Oh, baby,
Because I
come
believe in forgiveness,
on.
huge. I believe in forgiveness for Mike Tyson.
Of course.
Did
Why
I
wouldn't
lose
he
you
do?
yet? Okay, because that's where in the industry is some very
What? I
some
love
very
Mike.
Did he recently do something that we're not
no,
aware
he
of?
has not recently done
Oh
something.
no, we love Mike.
So
We're huge Mike Tyson.
yeah,
We love Mike,
I
yeah.
believe in forgiveness. I believe you do the crime, you do the time. Why are so many of us judged on our worst moments and our worst days? And then you
Exactly.
carry
We
that.
talked about that with Will Smith.
Yes,
yesterday.
just yesterday.
Carry that for the rest of your life. So everything else you did and everything else here. So like I tried to bring up on Twitter, which is, there's not enough characters there in the conversation behind it. And I guess
It's
my
the
tone,
cesspool of the internet.
I guess
too.
my tone didn't land properly, but I was trying to say about why do we judge people on our worst days? Like why? Why do we have to? And why can we not forgive and forget? Or why can we not? Okay, let's not forget, but why can't we move on? Why can't we take people at face value? And that who of us is perfect? Why do you get to be the one that well, I never raped anyone, but have you? So I said, have you been raped? Because maybe you shouldn't be in the conversation if you don't want to. And I have been a victim of sexual abuse and sexual violence, so I feel like I have a voice and something to stand on here if we're going to go that far. Never mind that I'm human and you're human and you're allowed to have opinions and ideas. And sorry, I throw my hands all around.
No, it's good. No, word up. I hear what you're saying.
In the industry, every time I come forward, which to a man I've never met, nor do I know. So what I'm trying to say is that Mike Tyson could be anybody, is representative of anyone that, you know, and it's, I met standing outside of speaking engagements by women that want in the industry that want to crucify and destroy for what I've said. I have been excluded from events and functions because of my thoughts and feelings on Mike Tyson.
What?
And
what
I'm
is the
saying
beef with Mike Tyson? Let's just say for the record right now, I fuck with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, like
who doesn't fuck with Mike Tyson?
You will be surprised. And
yeah, I would understand that.
Why?
32 years ago.
Oh, but he's completely changed now.
Here's the thing: is that we're still in the age where we are not healed enough yet to stop the momentum of crucifying people's bad behavior.
And you've nailed it perfectly again. Just because I'm at this point of my healing journey and where I am in life doesn't mean everyone else, their thoughts and ideas are at the same spot.
Well, what you focus on expands. So it's interesting for me. I'm diagnosed Tourette's. So I just like shoot something in the face immediately. So if there's beef, I'll sizzle it and it's done. You know? But and then it's gone to me. I'm operating closer to Ralph. There's less gray matter in my brain. I'm like, and then gun, bang. And then if it's over, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, no problem.
You have Tourette's and is it tics or words?
Both.
Really?
It used to.
And then this thing I do?
Yeah.
I turned. That's a good manifestation of channeling it. So you pump it back into yourself, and then basically.
He's so cute.
Thank you.
And he's like, Anthony. He's so cute.
Thank you. This is gonna be the recording snippet. But yeah. So and then that will happen with my mouth lots. And a lot of those nice things I say, and a lot of those moments where we get in alignment together, and I'm flowing and I'm listening. That's how I can get the good, but it comes with the bad. So that's honestly what I wanted to say. Bipolar, this is a realm of duality.
Right.
I grew up, my mom's lots of friends are bipolar, and she might be a little too. That means I probably have
so a challenging childhood and difficult and
trauma.
Not easy. Trauma is the word exactly. Has made you what you are. I mean, not that we all need to go through trauma, but I think I've had a blessed life, and I wrote a book about my life, and it's really quite sad, and it's really quite bad, and it's doesn't have a happy beginning, and it doesn't really have a happy ending where the book left off. It's just sort of is what it is.
And
I would consider myself successful, healthy, happy.
Yep.
Like the depression and the anxiety and the bipolar and stuff is what it is, but it's part of this package. I have a successful, loving husband. I have a successful, loving family. I have and I'm saying successful, not monetizing. I don't mean money. I mean successful as in we're happy and we're healthy and we're whole. Yeah. So
blessed.
And
that's wealth. That's true wealth.
A lot of people would look in and go, what a broken shit show. This person considers themselves healthy and well, and which I think is recognizing the good and the bad, recognizing the challenges, healing is a process. It's a journey. I'm not at the finish line.
Yeah. And happiness is completely subjective to the individual perspective.
And you would be so trapped if you just kept wishing that things were different for you.
And trying to live up to another parameter outside of your
that's what
vision.
that whole lifestyle social media is. And even still, I'll put on social media a little side boob or something. Mm-hmm. There goes the likes, hundreds.
It's
and then I'll be I'll put a picture of me and my mom, and it'll get 81 likes.
I know, it's hurtful. I find it hurtful. It's so cheap and easy.
Yeah.
Cheap, and I'll pour my heart out on something, and it's a beautiful picture, and I've poured my heart out, and it gets 2 likes, and then you put half a boob, or you put a low rise whatever, and a whole whatever. And I'm an old lady, and it goes flying, and I'm like, okay, you're so cheap and easy. This is just
But you just can't look to there for authentic validation. it's truly like whatever they're told, right? Because like you can see, you know, you can predict by data. You can predict exactly. So that's not individual. You're not speaking to like wise individuals. Really.
I just left a corporate meeting, and there's 3-4 women and 20 men, all white men, and I was in the room 5 minutes, and one of them came in and said, "How about that mermaid video you posted?"
Oh my God.
I'm like, like, really?
Business.
Yeah, this is a business meeting.
Nice.
Everyone's in suits.
Even
Nice.
like I was at a comedy show with dogs, and so I tailored my set to just all dog owner stuff.
Yep.
And even still, like one rando guy was like, "Have you ever had a threesome?"
Yeah, like
And it's like,
This has nothing to do
You're
with anything,
the
you
worst.
dumbass.
yeah, this has nothing to do
Men
with
suck.
anything.
What
Yep.
the fuck?
oh fuck, they just like, what? Really? You just couldn't hold it in? Or
You're fucking it up
Yeah,
for
like,
us,
what
guys.
the hell?
You're fucking it up.
That's
Yeah,
like,
it's
or when
super
when
weird.
you post like posting something that's like an RIP, like, oh, that's, you know, rest in peace, and you post something super, and then guys like, you look so hot in that picture. I'm like, you are why. Social media, your cord's banging your drink.
Oh,
That's gonna,
thank you.
woo,
Thanks.
that's gonna go down, Winnie.
Holy Consuelos.
I got
good
it.
catch.
So-
Wow. So when did you have the click to say, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to do what I want?
Oh, it's kind of, so
And you're newer, just if you didn't watch the last episode with Jacqui, go watch that. But you're a newer cannabis user as far as your
I'm
life.
fairly new to cannabis. I mean, I smoked it in high school. Probably didn't inhale. Didn't know what I was doing. Don't know how to roll my
Right.
own. Did bots? Remember bottle tokes? So you break a bottle with a dime, and then you put on the hot knife. You put the piece of hash in, and like that. That was what I did. But so fairly new. I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
The not giving a fuck. When did that
Oh,
click
okay.
happen?
So
Sorry.
that the not giving a fuck sort of is a little bit before cannabis, probably only a year or two before the cannabis came out. Was I had gone through a really messy divorce, and during that time, my youngest son stopped talking to me, and I was a stay-at-home mom, raised the boys. Like they're, you know, like they were like my right hand. Like it was a big so to skip all of the stuff, when he left and was not coming back, and like 1 month rolled into 6, rolled into a year, rolled into 2 years, rolled into 3 years.
Your son?
Yeah, my youngest, who now lives with me full time, and we have an amazing relationship.
Hey,
it's so good. But during
No
that
wonder
time,
you love forgiveness and reconciliation.
during that time,
It's-
I had it just came because a piece of my heart was taken, and I'm thinking, I'm still alive and I only have half my heart. And I would get up each morning and go, oh my God, like new day, and I only have half a heart. So I started to think, I have to live the absolute fullest I can. I have to do the best I can to be the best me, and the universe, I have to believe, will respond, will pay me back, like bring my son home. And I was authentic. I was real. That's why when I hear things that aren't, I'm like, there's no freaking way. I'm 110% on this, because right now I'm speaking to the universe. Like, I'm trying to get my son home. So, and however I can get my son home I'm thinking this is the way to do it, by just being be charitable, be humble, be kind, be all those things, you know, and he'll come home.
That's so
and he
beautiful.
did. And when he came home, and I asked him in our first conversation, when he knocked on the door, I was like, Mom, and unbelievable. And he said, I saw you change. I saw you were different, and I saw you. And he said, and I know you're putting in the work, and I know you're putting in the whatever. And he's like, and how could I not? Like, you're my mom. Like, you're, you know, like, I know you love me. I love you. We both had some shit, and we're good. That was when I started to not give a fuck. I could still live, breathe, eat, sleep, and function without half of my heart. Why am I caring about all this other fucking shit?
Yo.
And that was when I was like, I'm talking about weed. I'm talking about my mental health. I'm talking sex, drugs, and rock and roll, man. I I love it. I love it. Yeah, I swear. Yes, I do drugs. Yes, I whatever. You know what I also do? I pay my taxes. I'm a good person. I'm charitable. I'm humble. I adopt. I've got a house full of animals.
Talk about it.
I grow my own.
That's what we're saying. That's basically, you're such the epitome of a disciplined stoner.
Yeah.
You have it all.
You are the CCO.
Yes. Chief Content Officer
of WikiLeaf.
Nope. Cannabis Wiki.
Oh my God,
but that
I'm
was
so
a good
sorry.
one. You can call it WikiLeaf. I love that. Who's
Cannabis
WikiLeaf?
Wiki.
Take two.
Who's
do it again.
WikiLeaf?
I don't
There's
think that's
something.
Is
I
that
think
a thing?
she just made that up.
I don't know where I
It
got
is
that
a thing.
from. I'm sorry.
Cannabis
Take
Wiki.
two.
Cannabis Wiki.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut that out.
Yeah.
Are we?
So no.
Okay. We're Chief Content Officer.
we
Don't
just-
edit, do you?
We just always say we're gonna cut things out, but then we don't cut them out.
I like it
You're
when we
welcome.
don't edit.
Yeah.
We're talking about authentic. You gotta enjoy those.
Yeah,
So
Chief
I always say,
Content Officer, Cannabis Wiki.
yeah, the mindfulness. You gotta put yourself on the cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
for
screw up
sure.
all the time. I interview people, and I will be live, and we're and
So
the
good.
president of whatever, and then his name. Oh, it just happened. It was a lady, and her name was Ray, and I called her Ryan through the whole interview. So it's not a matter of we can just cut that out, or we can edit it, or we can whatever. And I was wondering
Bless
why
you.
she wasn't responding to
Oh
me.
my God, that's so good.
I was like,
I
this is
love
like the
that.
dud interview. Why can I not get this woman to respond?
Holy shit.
Because I
Oh,
wasn't
thank
calling her
you.
by her name.
I love that.
Thank you for sharing that.
so the CCO.
Yeah, that's a big deal for me.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Can
know
you
what?
tell us about that?
First of all, I'm bipolar.
Yeah.
So that I can't hold a job. I can't.
But you can hold two perspective.
Exactly. Like I just can't because and I'm saying that as I'm having a job. I keep saying to myself, I can't do this. And then every day I do it. It's really it's nuts.
Really, you have that sort
Like
of doubtful
every
self-talk.
morning I'm like I can't do this another day
No,
and
but
I
you
do it
can.
another day
Oh,
and I
you
do
do
it
it.
and I do it good and I do it
Yeah.
great and then the next morning I get up and say I can't do this today because I second guess like I was saying earlier everything decisions I make that are concrete or something really serious, I second guess them and I worry. I've pulled myself out of group chats and they think I'm being unapproachable.
Oh,
or being
I've
whatever.
done that too.
It's just, I just can't take all of the different noise and all the different angles of the day to day.
Yeah.
What most people would think is normal, right? You turn your laptop on in the morning and you hit your first meeting and then there's a group chat and there's this, that. It's way too much for me. Between that and all the voices in my head, like I got too much going on.
No.
So I had to leave group chats and I've had to, like we have Slack and what's all the different things to run the business.
If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you.
It just doesn't traditional ways of communicating doesn't.
Same.
So at the end of it's kind of so everything goes to my manager first. Manager filters everything as a need to know what needs to land to Jacqui. So then it comes to me.
Nice.
Oh.
Then at the end of every day, so when business is done, we finish at 6. We start late. So we finish at 6. Then Derek and I, my co-host and who is
Awesome
the
guy.
founder of Cannabis Wiki, we then have a meeting where we run over the entire day of what actually happened and who did what and who talked to it. I say he explains it in layman's terms. So we smoke a joint while we talk via Zoom or if we're in the office together, whatever. And he explains, okay, this is happening with this and this meeting went. And is it time consuming and a little tedious? And would it happen in the normal quote world? Probably not. But they made a conscious effort to work with patients. So we have we're Cannabis Wiki, we're a cannabis company, media, marketing, and tech, but we also hire patients. So like some of our writers have other invisible illnesses and issues. Like we make sure that we're not just talking about things, we actually, so they work around,
That's great.
they work with me and work around and they know
That's fucking dope.
I take
love
some,
that so
some
much.
heavy. I'm back on meds, and I take some heavy hitting meds at 8:30 and 9 a.m. in the morning. So I can't have a 9 a.m. meeting. I can have a 9:30 or 10, but they know not to schedule me. Like so, when they all have their group meetings at 8 and things like they know that Jacqui takes a lot of meds, and it takes a little bit for them to kick in. Before
Even just like, yo,
That's-
don't holler till noon, dog.
don't holler to noon. Yeah.
Straight up, like I put all my meetings, I try to start at 12 because I like the morning for me. I
Right.
wake up slow.
Which I'll work all night, but mornings
Yeah.
it's hard for me.
I mean, that's just also
You're landing in your body.
Like that must make you as a team just a lot more solid
So
because you have
tight.
to be vulnerable
Yeah.
with what's going on with you.
nice.
So there was a problem with one of the gentlemen I work with who I absolutely love and adore, and he's the sweetest. And there wasn't a problem with one of the gentlemen. I had a flip out, and he was closest to me, so it all
Homie,
landed on.
I understand.
It all landed on this total dolly.
Someone you can get the
And-
smoke by accident, homie.
And then I was mortified and embarrassed and so uncomfortable to see him the next. And you know what he
Yep.
said to me the very next time I saw him? He came up to me and said, "That's what's going to make our relationship stronger and our friendship better." He said, "We'll probably have a dozen more of those." And I said, "I cried myself to sleep. I can't believe I called you the names I called you. I can't believe I treated you that disrespectful or whatever." And he said, but we're family. Is what he said back to me. And I've never even had family say that to me. But we're family, so it's gonna happen.
Shout out
That's
this guy.
really leading edge. Like I mean, the 9 to 5 is very clearly not working for pretty much anyone
Right.
anymore. So that's going to have to evolve at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, like to have that at the forefront of
It's such a solid ground for me. I couldn't work anywhere else. I could not, with all the issues and all the stuff and the who I am. And I'm a control freak, but I'm not. I'm a perfectionist, but I'm not. I'm a tyrant, but I'm not. Like, I'm very difficult.
Yeah, but you're not, and also all those things. We talk about that just in the last episode. We're very in the same synchronistic bubble of thought. We're walking paradoxes. That's what I just said last episode. I'm like, yo, my whole mission I write books about, I make music about, and I want to give people power to realize their power, that they can do anything. There's also simultaneously something in me that no one quicker will toss you down a fucking flight of steps.
See, that's.
Like
I say it's because I'm a Leo. I can't.
Nah, it's because we're walking fucking paradoxes. Because that's the job of consciousness, to express in as many ways as possible through one vessel. That's why all this left wing, right wing bullshit
Right,
doesn't really
so-
make sense. It's not like you have to just do one-dimensional thinking anymore. You're a mix of several
Right.
different
Yeah.
stacks, and you're several different things, and you're a writer,
On
and
this-
you're whatever. All this different shit that collectively all that pain helps with.
Back
Sorry.
to Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
That's like how I feel like with forgiveness and, time pass is why I can't imagine like why people have such a strong the other way.
How
of
do you
opinion
know?
on-
How do you know one thing so well? How do you know?
Because
You
well,
don't
I know
know.
someone I don't like, someone I really don't like or don't want to hang out with. I wouldn't allow them to drown. You know what I mean? If I was
Right.
right there, or
You'd
if they
still
were
say that-
hungry, or if they showed up at my door and I do not like, I want you in jail. But you showed up at my door and you were cold, I would give you a coat. Like, that's why I can't understand this other way that
I
we
think-
Decent.
live.
You cannot come in, but you can have a coat.
You can
bitch.
have a coat.
A word up. I feel that. That's so nice. That's beautiful.
Give you a coat, but don't come in.
You don't have to die.
I think
Can't die in here. Can't live in here.
in the last episode that you were on, we talked about Abraham Hicks a little bit, and
Because I love now.
yes,
Yes. Oh, I
now-
dreamed about this moment.
Really? Because I really love listening.
Yeah.
And it's very grounding. And when I have a lot of
Absolutely.
confusion in my head, sometimes even just if I'm not fully focused, but it's on.
Yeah.
And I can just hear, and I'll skip through,
Totally.
and I start to get comfortable. I'm like, oh, I've heard this one before. Okay. And I feel familiar, and I get calm, and it sort of brings me. I really
isn't her
love
voice just lovely?
soothing,
too? It
very
absolutely is, I
soothing.
know.
And it's a very storytelling voice. Like,
Yes.
it really is calming, and just really, really lots of things resonate with me. Lots
Yeah.
of things I'm like, oh, I get that. Okay. I understand this better now. And
Yeah.
I thought it was just me that the things in my head sometimes and things.
No, we all go through this.
Yeah.
That's what's so amazing. She's flowing from source consciousness. This lady, Esther Hicks, she's from the South.
And I love the name Esther.
I know.
I know.
I love it.
We
It's
love
so
those
cute.
time names too.
Esther.
Maybe.
And
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, Esther 11.
Cute.
A little E. Yeah. A little Yeah. Look at him holding his little E.
we just named our daughter with Jacqui.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you
Esther.
go.
That's beautiful.
Esther.
Oh, that's so pretty.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So but she
That's
had
so
she
good. I'm
talks
so
about
glad
this
it
thing,
connected.
and I think that we'd be surprised, maybe people in our head that we think oh, you wouldn't help someone, but people, if in generally speaking, if you see someone lying in the street that needs help, you'll go and help them if they're
Right.
bleeding in the street,
Yes.
right? That's what
Yes.
she says. And then she's like, but if you see someone having a fit or being like out of alignment mentally or emotionally, like you won't,
You
don't
look the
wanna
other
touch
way
that.
and you go,
yeah.
"Ooh, yeah."
You feel awkward. You feel uncomfortable. And she's like, it's literally the same thing. Like those two things are
Literally the same thing.
yeah.
But we consider one not as much as a priority or one
the physical body, right?
inappropriate.
Like-
yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting what we respond to and what we're learning to respond to throughout evolution and our experience. Like our reactivity is going up because our sensitivity is going up. So it's like we're used to like physical reaction. Now it's like a tweet offended me. Like something someone else typed somewhere else on the globe is going to fuck a second of my day up.
I don't know
Are you
why.
serious?
I'm like,
But
what
then-
is this?
No,
I'm just,
but we all do, dude. If someone says even some disrespect, like whatever, and it's like, what the fuck? But then it's like before, like we came from the human race of like, oh, nice, that bear's not killing me because I put a door on my cave. Like, sick, like
Yeah,
but
I
we
get
weren't even offended. So like we're going upwards in sensitivity. So we got a responsibility.
people are very
Just to
sensitive.
figure it out. Yeah.
You throw some doozies on Twitter sometimes.
Oh, man.
And I take the bait just because I love effing with people. Because it's Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
give me a break.
Dude, I'm in Twitter like half the time just like thinking like who can I fuck with? Like who can I like how can I say something so like accurate and truthful and mindful but also like have a bit of
something.
fucking
It's
gonna
tang to
punch you
it.
in the gut.
It's gonna
Well-
because often I'm talking or attacking an old version of myself.
See, me too. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's a. What is the word? Proverbial you? Like it's no real you that I'm speaking to.
Yeah,
I am speaking to all of you.
Proverbial?
Proverbial. Yes.
Is that the word?
I think that's the word I'm trying to
know what
say.
that means, but I like it.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I don't mean you that I'm coming at. It's all
Yeah.
of yous.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like there's no real you that I'm. It's the old me.
It's just out. It's just out towards. It's like the idea of the other, the outer layer.
I have a
the
juicy
self.
story about this
Yeah?
made up post, and it caused so much drama in the industry.
Oh, let's go.
And it caused a lot of like parting of the ways and thou shall never speak her name again and
Oh,
all this sort of. It
amazing.
was like this big huge. So I did a
Congrats.
post.
Love those.
I did a post, so now it's about 5.5 years ago.
Okay.
And it was just about how fake social media is and how fake people are. And like, look at that girl and all the designer stuff. She can't afford, she doesn't pay her bills. She can't afford her house. She can't, look at she's got 5 kids that are all screaming her name. Like, I just made this big, I'm like, stop trying to be that person. Be you was the point of my post. And I really hit hard. Like, yes, she usually has her nails completely done and her hair, and there's this, and you want to be her so bad. So that was the post. It wasn't directed at anyone, not anyone in particular. And it had been in my drafts for a while. I've been adding more to it and working on it. So I post it 5.5 years ago. Someone who hopefully is listening right now sent it to me.
I hope so too.
And said, you
Thanks.
nasty effing bitch.
Oh,
Like, I
nice.
can't believe you think of people this way and women this way. And they know this is directed at me. And and I was like, I'm so sorry that this particular post resonates with you because wowzers, you're pretty.
I was just gonna say,
you're pretty shit.
if you say so.
Yeah, like so. Then
If you say so.
So then I responded with the screenshot of when I posted it 5.5 years ago before I even met this person. When
Oh my
the
God.
original, because it was a repost. I had posted it 5.5 years ago, and then
Oh
I
my
reposted
God.
it last year, or a year and a half ago now. And all hell broke loose. And then there was a group of, I'm a meanie and I'm a mean girl.
Why
and I
did you
da-da-da-da.
repost it?
And then
Yo.
just it was in my memories, and it looked cool. Like it was a good
Fucking-
picture,
that's
so I thought
gangster.
I'd repost it.
Fuck
And
yeah.
it made everyone go bananas. And there was no you.
love that.
It was it wasn't directed at anyone in
That's
particular.
so.
Listen.
That's art. You have turned social media and content creation
Yeah, you're
into
making
art because
people
you're making
feel.
people feel.
Yeah, fuck.
Art
I'm
by
never where you think I am on social media. I'm never there. I've had very serious stalker issues. So now so you see me at a club at night.
Really?
That club was yesterday
back off,
or the day
fucking
before.
weirdo.
Oh, he died during COVID.
Wow.
And that was a weird thing because I have to feel sad because someone passed.
No, you don't.
No.
But I also felt so free. This stalker situation was so damn bad. It was cross countries. It involved American police, Mexican police, and the Canadian police.
The federales were involved in this shit?
It was huge. I had the person's children messaging me, their adult children who are in the army, one in Hawaii and one overseas somewhere, saying that my father is going to kill you or hire someone to kill you. They sent it to me all. They're like, we've cut ties. You have to be so careful of my father. He's doing something online. He's trying to. Yeah, this person. And then.
Oh, so it wasn't like a.
He befriended all my friends on social media. So like I would look at say. Who's like say Maestro Fresh West. I'm trying to think of someone like that. Carl, like a local, a Torontonian that I would know that has a in the music industry or whatever. Right. He would then befriend them on social media and say, compliment their work. So they would respond and he would compliment something else. So then they would respond. He'd get in with them and then he would start mentioning me. And how well do they know me? And was I at that party? And am I going to that club? And am I going to... Meanwhile, he's
infiltrating.
He was incapacitated, though. He couldn't leave a bed. But he had enough money to hire people to hurt me or to harm me. He had enough money
What do you mean he was incapacitated?
He was in a special home for crazy people, which I don't want to be in. That's my goal every day. I try not to go into a home.
That's so. But so remember, what you resist persists. So don't pray not to be in a home. Just pray to be free.
Pray to be free.
Yeah.
Free as a bird.
You're good.
So he was in a home,
like a psych ward home. Like, what do you mean, mental home?
Well, he wasn't really old, but he couldn't take care of himself.
Oh,
He was mentally unwell and physically unwell.
Okay.
He was huge, and his legs didn't work anymore.
Oh.
Because of just and it was in, where was it, Drew?
Probably like diabetes or something.
Missouri. He lived in Missouri.
So some giant American dude who was unwell got obsessed with you.
Obsessed, telling family members we were getting married. It was my anniversary dinner in Calgary, Ontario, or Calgary, Canada. We're in Calgary with my best friends, and we get a bottle of wine sent to the table. And then we don't drink wine. So then he sends dessert. I drink wine, but my friends don't, and my husband doesn't.
What services I drink wine. He?
So then he sends dessert. And just,
do you know that it's like, is he saying like this?
So he messaged, and I said no, thank you. And then he insisted. I said no, thank you. But then I posted the restaurant we were at. So he called the restaurant and said, there's someone there. Here's my credit card.
So that's why you can't be live with it.
So that's why I don't do. So then we're in Alaska on a cruise. We don't even know where we are. We're in the water. We're in wherever we are. There's a knock at the door. The lady comes with truffles and ginger ale because I had posted I had a stomach ache. It was scary. It was scary. It was.
So he was like trying to give like
it was a lot
forceful service like to like win you over, but like
so then when all that turns, it turns to hate, right? So when I'm not buying it anymore, taking the bait, or reading in on it, or being interested in it anymore, he then turned it to, he started leaving me bad reviews everywhere. I was a whore, and he was gonna whatever. Then his kids start messaging and saying there's some serious trouble here, like dad's coming after you.
Fuck these kids. They're like, oh no, daddy's mad. Oh, be scared of daddy.
The one army kid, he's like, I stopped talking to my father because it was so delusional. He's like, they were dream state conversation. Like he thinks you two are in a relationship and he's somehow gonna rescue you. And it was nuts. So because of that, I use social media very differently.
Interesting. What the fuck?
Yeah, when I say
what a situation.
It was the reason it happened in Mexico is I was in Mexico smoking weed, and Mexico weed it was illegal at the time.
Right.
So I'm in there smoking weed. So he called the company the hotel I stayed at to try and get the room. Then he called the company I work with, telling them that I'm doing illegal things and all this whatever. Like he tried to turn everything against. Like he took all the love and turned it to hate because it never really was love to begin with, right? Or it wouldn't have been like
it was obsession or something.
It was always gonna turn.
It was
There was
always
never a point where that wasn't going to go sour.
So that's where when we were talking about names and titles and people putting so much weight on me to be this, as easy as you give me those titles, you can take them away. And as easy as they are to give, you can also take them away. So I'd rather just not have them. I'd just rather... Because
come on.
Yeah, I hear
bars.
Because I'm
Fucking bars.
Yeah.
I'd rather, it's like... As much as you get excited by compliments and kindness, it shouldn't matter to you. Yeah. I don't need all that. You know, like I did initially, and I was falling into it, and it's very social media is very addictive. And look at me. I roll my eyes at my posts just as much as other people do. Like I know that's annoying, and that's a thirst trap, and that's whatever. Like
we call it all the time. We try to line up our thirst traps.
Yeah,
Let's give them.
So like I'll do a thirst trap, and then you do one,
and then we'll post each other's.
Yeah, didn't you wear your cute little overalls with no shirt or something?
That's the one that got like 900 likes in comparison to my usual like 3.
And then you could be like become a doctor or get your brain surgery, whatever, and you get 3 likes. Yeah, like I'm like, what the hell? Like it's so cheap and easy.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like basically operating on different levels. It's like that's what you are. But then like even when I shifted to like how to introduce you, I was just thinking about like who you are. Like as like a person, like a cool person, like ultimately it's like, you know, and that's like that's a privilege to get to know someone on a level of like who, but like ultimately what, and why we've become accustomed to so many labels, because we're trying to have a reference point to understand most times, and like then understanding with optimism of what you could be turns into limiting controlling labels. And that's why it's like, I just try to stay the fuck away from it, because ultimately like I have rap songs, but like if you come to my show, like our Rhythm and Flow, it's like, yeah, he's rapping, but he's not like a rapper. Like if you like sell like a Miami club a rapper, you're like, I had no teeth. I mean, I have these chains for jokes. Those are joke chains. Like I'm not like, I don't. So I'm like, what the fuck are labels anyway? It's like,
what would you call yourself?
An entertainer, I guess.
An entertainer.
That's where I land. Yeah, but then exactly, it's like real rap fans who have grown accustomed to being my fans, they're in love with my lyricism for sure. Like that's the thing I do. Yeah, babe. And so it's like, bless you, I love that. Yes. She was in the music video. Why I got these. I got these because I rap myself. So I definitely am a rapper, but definitely like I the labels are complicated. Is what I'm saying is tricky.
Artist.
Yeah, artist. Yeah. That'd be a good one.
Creator.
Yeah, creator. That's nice. Or just like 11. Like just like you should know. Just like I feel like that's the same with you. Like Jacqui Child's like you should just know. Like figure it out. Like understand that it is the whole package.
I do like this is a just real like, this is a compliment or this is a I don't know, but I get it all over body shiver, and I mention it almost every time, and my husband can say she does. When I go into a room and say hi, I'm Jacqui Childs, or I introduce myself to whoever and I say hello, I'm Jacqui Childs, and they say I know, that's my favorite.
Yeah,
like that is my favorite. I have to say
1,000%.
that. Like when I've met some super huge celebrities,
dreamy
or
recognition,
some really whatever, and I'm like, hi, I'm Jacqui Childs, and they say I know.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, like it validates everything. Like, okay, so I'm not working for nothing. I do that. I am, the audience is where I want it to be.
That's
okay,
nice.
The engagement has got, all right, this is good.
But
really?
even all those calculating and quantifying, it's just like in that moment, it's just I always like they get so giggly. To check out like, your shit.
I get when someone says I know, I get super giggly, and I can and when I'm talking about it, I can remember, like it's like bang 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 bang, like all the times that's happened, it comes to mind, and I love each time. It's just
it does. Those validating really cool. moments are very fulfilling.
And then I feel funny that I get all giggly over that. Like, okay, Jacqui, that's your ego.
Yeah, that is ego, but that's okay.
It's
like,
part of
you
this
got to
too.
take moments to respect, and like I don't know if I would have had such a triumphant journey if I didn't have like that ego that set forth all these mountains to climb, you know, having to go and get validation. You need
a certain amount of
ego,
right?
you're operating this life. You want accolades, you want to do things, you want to feel seen, you want to at least know you're on the right track. Like I freestyled the chef battles and you mentioned Meister Fresh West. I freestyled in front of him until I got a reaction from him, and then I moved on. And then he was like, "You can rap." I was like, "Word." word. Perfect. Done. Thank you. Tick. Tick. You know, and it's like it means a lot. And then I saw other younger rappers want validation from me later. And then I'm like, that's so tremendous that this is a gift you can give.
Look at all your keef in there.
Yeah, is that nice?
Jesus, sorry to interrupt.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, that one, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
we
is,
could scrape that pretty
Wow.
Dankcraft.
Dankcraft.
Yeah, John Fowler dropped another heater.
good. Yeah.
Isn't he a sweetheart?
He is a sweetheart.
I just love him.
He's on next.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
Like next.
Oh, like something.
He's in our next handful of folks.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, it
nice.
is.
I think October.
Oh, he's lovely.
Yeah.
He's so great. He's so kind, and he's a big name around our house. So he's done a lot of really kind things, and he's made a lot of kind gestures, and he's just
Dope.
he didn't
He's been in it for time.
when I came out in the industry, like came out to the industry and started talking about cannabis and my journey, and then when I shared even just like stuff with my boys, and being their mom and talking about cannabis, he always supported everything. And
Yeah.
I would say, oh, my son is interested in this, or my son's a bud tender, or my son doesn't like where he's working, and this is He always reached out to see how he could help or what he could do, or see if he, just really cool. And like,
He's a lawyer, right?
and
Wasn't he?
he was.
Yeah.
It's not something he's proud of. He talks about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'll talk about it on the podcast. He's really, he says he did time 3 years, and that he became a lawyer during that time.
Yeah.
And he learned what he didn't want to be and who he doesn't want to be. And he's just he's a really cool guy.
Yeah, he's
really sweet.
super kind.
He put on a good show for this. They got like Mike Rita,
Oh,
Nitish,
yeah.
and who's that other really funny guy?
The guy that hosts it, I really like Mike Rita's little host guy. He was on our podcast a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Did he have the little braids and he's got a big smile? What is his name? Who was the host of the show? Why can't I think of your name, Super Cutie? It's 420.
Mike
Comedy
Rita
biz-
was the host in this show.
Wasn't he the headliner?
No, he was the host.
Oh, who?
And I guess the technical.
Well, I think there was just some confusion because someone, the other comedian was like, "You're headlining this,"
Yeah.
and
then
he didn't.
Oh.
So,
But
but he was super fun still. It was 3 comedians essentially.
Yeah.
So
and
it
they
was
were
2
good,
headliners.
So I'm saying
and
like
with
John
a
Fowler
host, yeah.
probably like just like.
It was fun. They had
the
crazy
rates.
snacks. We had Pop-Tarts.
You ever been to
See?
Planet Paradise?
Yeah,
Oh,
I have.
so
It's really,
good.
really cool.
Shout out Mark. We're gonna have him on too.
I
Yeah.
like Planet Paradise is fun. All those places are fun. And,
Right?
And
go to the Vapor Lounge.
John, I had been there one time. I think I've been maybe twice. I had to pick
Back in
up.
the day?
I had to pick up. That was where the Karma Cup. When
Oh.
I was a
Thing.
judge for the Karma Cup, you pick up your
Yeah.
stuff there.
Matt Myrna had a show there. Remember? I freestyled on his show.
Oh, and that's where I met Frenchie Cannoli. So there was a learn how to hash whatever, like a little hash 101 there one time when there was, I think it was Lyft years ago. It was the first legal Lyft,
Sick.
I think. So 5 years ago, and Frenchie Cannoli came to town and did a hash 101, and I went.
You've been in and around Legacy before legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And well, my family, my in-laws they live in Arizona, but basically from California. And my husband has been in and around and involved in cannabis since he was a teenager, young teenager.
Love it.
So
My guy.
marrying him, we'd been together 13 years. So that's why I say
Yeah.
I'm only in the cannabis space 4 years. It's not exactly true. The story starts 4 and a bit years ago, but
with your personal brand
right,
associating
with the personal
that.
brand.
Yeah.
But as far as cannabis and my life, I mean, it was my in-laws that got me into cannabis and using CBD for my Crohn's,
Dope.
anxiety, and depression, and they're in their 70s. And then my
Very cool.
husband is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to
Truly,
cannabis.
it always has the nicest joints like pre-rolled. Like, see, I have these, and it's just like one beautiful tube, and he's like, and like, look at that, and they're just like
It was
perfectly
real
rolled.
nice.
Back
Yeah.
to the suits in the meeting we just had. They're
Yeah.
like, "You're the guy that always has those beautiful joints." Those are, and they
Impeccably
remembered.
rolled.
And he pulled them out, and we're in this room, and the smell. I was just like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" He's
Dreamy.
like, he's like, "It's a weed thing."
That's right.
Big
So-
D into place with the
so-
big J's.
Isn't he, Winnie? Is he a handful?
This guy?
Yeah, 2 handfuls.
I've gotten used to it.
2 handfuls, handful and a half.
Handful and a half.
There's like probably like once a week I'm like, You're intense.
You're intense.
But like other than that, I yeah.
Like I
Full
don't
two.
call a lot of people. You can ask my friends. They're like, I don't even call them. I don't check in on people's wellness. I don't check in on your new puppy, and I've seen a lot of babies, so yay, you had a baby.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just not that friend.
Yeah.
When we see each other, we have a phenomenal time, but I'm not that. But I've reached out to Ellevan a couple times when like,
Yeah.
I'm freaking out,
I love
or
it.
I got a problem, or I'm mad at this. Talk me off of this space, like out of this head space for a
Yeah.
second.
And it's always a familiar place.
And I never do that because I
love
I
that
have
you do
trust
that.
and loyalty issues with everyone. I think that's also Leo. It's probably bipolar that I have massive.
Double duality.
Yes, I have just
But I'll
issues.
understand because I'm a crazy artist.
I feel anything I put out, like I've learned from social media and I've learned from podcasts, when you put out there things, it gets misconstrued or they take it
Yeah.
out of context.
People
and the
want to
tone
hold something
changes.
against you sometimes.
Yeah, like, so we're having a great chat and everything's really fun and we're having a nice conversation, and then it turns into something, 3 weeks from now, like, can you believe, like, oh my God, I was having some kombucha. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize this was, like, gonna ruin the world.
Yeah. No, we always find out a great, and I love that, and I appreciate you offering those moments of vulnerability with me because I love exploring the human state. And yeah, you can always be sure it's a safe space to just visit the different perspectives with me. That's my
I
shit.
just
Like,
go
let's go for a little. And
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear
Ellevan's
you.
really good at also like not picking up a call if he doesn't have the capacity to. So I
Yeah.
think like you can count on
That
him
not
like
overburdening
exactly.
or oversharing. I'm not
Yeah.
crushing, like, because that's another thing. No, thank you. That's another thing. I said no, thank you, and then I went like that. That's funny.
You're still
Just
smoking
thank
in
you.
spirit. Your spirit wants to smoke, but your body's like, I'm good.
What was that? And I just kept doing it, even though I said no, thank you. The trust and loyalty thing. I've been burned in the past, so, which all of us have. So I try, and then that's another thing. I don't want to have to live up to a facade online. I
Yeah.
want what it is to actually be.
That's the
Because
safest.
how do I share things with people and then it's used against me? So it might as well be as honest and as authentic and as real and raw and messy. Like, sometimes I'll write at the bottom of the post, this is not edited. This is just, I'm high as hell. This is a
Disclaimer.
this is just a blah, 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 blah. Yes, I often give a disclaimer so you can get where I'm coming from, that I'm, pick it apart all you want. It's a mess. So am I,
But that's a good attitude to have. That's a very liberating attitude, just to like allow that to be. I've been going through that with the album. I'm writing an album, and
you.
thank you. And I'm almost done. 10 out of 11 tracks.
10 out of
That's
11
right.
tracks.
Tell your friends.
Tell
And-
your friends, but don't tell your Canadian friends because they don't give a shit. Just tell your American friends. No Canadians give a shit. You could do a show here in Canada. You could do a show across the street where everyone doesn't even have. You don't have to
painfully
park.
true.
You don't have whatever. 16 people will show up. You could drive haul ass to Detroit. Set up in
So
Detroit.
accurate.
And you'll have 10 times the people will come.
It's-
There'll be a lineup. There'll be people like waiting in the cold to get in there or whatever. You won't know any of them. They're not your friends. They're just like,
They do have more people over there.
I
They
get
just have
that.
more?
They also
Yeah.
have more support.
It's so accurate, but we've managed to carve out a nice little slice of a variety show with rhythm and flow.
Yeah. Rhythm
Which
and flow.
you got to come to if you're
I
in
would
town.
love to come.
That'd be
When's the next
amazing.
rhythm and flow?
Rhythm and flow.
Rhythm and flow. Rhythm and flow.
It's December 9th.
I'm home.
And blessings. Okay, you
I'm
gotta
going to
come. You guys
Jamaica
gotta
soon.
come. I'm gonna put you guys on the VIP list.
Oh, does that mean
first
we get
front-
to go in the front row?
Yeah. So there's like VIP section, and then there's one booth. And Matt's gonna be in that booth. Like all my homies are gonna be there. So you gotta come.
Maybe I bring my kid.
That'd be great.
Can I get an extra ticket?
Yes, he can join you at the VIP table.
Ah!
Okay.
Maybe he has a show. Oh no, he has one January 15th.
So we've carved out. That's awesome. We've carved out this nice little local audience that's a mix of stand-up fans and like I guess, Ellevan fans or people who are like open for improvised music. And
That's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. So we packed Bar Cathedral. That's the poster right over there. And that's just a nice little like 90-person room that like fills up and feels really full.
That's nice, right?
And it's like a sit-down theater vibe, but you can order food and drinks.
Oh.
And it's the back of the Spaghetti Factory.
Oh, I
on
remember
the
the old
Esplanade.
spaghetti. Oh, I
Yeah.
remember the old spaghetti factory.
Yeah, and it's just it's
Is that
such a
still open?
Yeah.
yeah. Can you fucking believe that? I know. Shout out Old Spaghetti Factory.
Wow.
I know. And
Holy shit,
it's-
I'm old. That's still around.
No, that's still going.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you remember
It is,
Mr.
like,
Green
Jeans?
Jeans? Do you
Mr.
remember
What?
Mr. Green Jeans. Or was that being
No.
way old?
Oh shit.
Mr. Green Jeans. It used to be in Eaton Center, I believe, right by the escalator. We'd go up to the.
Oh yeah.
My-
When was that? Like pre 2012? Oh my god.
Were you
yeah.
born then?
Pre 2000.
Wait, you guys weren't. You
I
weren't
wasn't here.
You weren't here. Or you
Yeah,
weren't born.
I wasn't
I
here.
wasn't
No.
here.
I was born in the 80s.
I was born in the 80s. The last week of the 80s.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys missed Mr. Green Jeans. It was really good. They had a grasshopper drink that I used to love, and I couldn't wait till I was old enough to drink alcohol because I imagined it would taste so much better.
Oh
I
my
got-
god, did you
I-
hear about the grasshopper that walked into a bar and said to the bartender says, "Oh, you know we have a drink named after you." And the grasshopper says, "Really? You have a drink named Stanley?" Come on.
Stupid.
That was pretty good.
Oh my god, he's funny.
I
He
didn't know
is
where that was
funny.
going. Yeah, I liked that one.
When he goes, well, they didn't know where that was going. One never knows what Eleven's about to
Yeah.
say.
That's
True.
a child joke.
Sometimes he doesn't even know what he's about to say.
So in this show, yeah, I'm improvising everything.
Do you?
Yeah, entirely.
Do you take mushrooms beforehand or something?
Probably. That time I didn't. But like that's what I do. I stand there and I make up songs.
I find that mushrooms, I lose the ability to articulate. Mushrooms
You gotta
takes me
microdose.
else. Yeah, a microdose, I suppose. But like even still, like I'm way more up here in
Yeah,
mushrooms.
it's not
than,
helpful
like-
with cognitive communication.
For me, when I have something that if I have to say something like ego free, like if I have to get in there and
Yes.
actually talk,
Yeah.
speak deeply without
Yes.
like biting my lip or I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
Biting my tongue or any of that, I like
Mushrooms are
mushrooms.
the key.
Mushrooms
Yeah.
help.
I
Do you
feel
remember
that.
you took acid when you came on the podcast? Did we already bring that up? But do you remember
Yes.
when you put your joint in your hat and it caught on fire?
Oh, I thought I put it out and I walked in and
Smoking out the top
oh
of
my
his
god,
head.
one of their camera guys was like, "What did he call me? A walking chimney, or what did he call me?"
I don't know, but it was KJ, and
Smokestack.
but
so
he
cool.
was so excited that they had a picture of smoke coming out of
That is pretty
Eleven's
cool.
head.
I popped
Classic.
a tab of acid with Jag, my buddy Jag, and then I get this text that's like, "Do you want? I know it's last minute. But do you want to be on Jacqui's podcast?" And I'm like,
We're right across
Yeah.
the street from your house.
but I wasn't even home.
Oh,
I was at my buddy's place, and we were just about to take a trip into Acidville, and I had already popped, and I was like just about to lift off, like fully, like kind of. It was like an hour in, and I was like, "Yeah, I could do that."
It was,
It was
so
only like,
fun.
It was, and I came and just like we had so much fun.
Oh, he
And
saved the freaking day.
Blessings,
For
thank
real. He saved the day. That was
So
a
good.
heavy day. And when
Yeah.
he came in and all jokes and good times and we're singing, literally people are singing and clapping and whatever. I was like, thank the Lord.
Blessings.
Whatever.
guys
This
had
was
it.
just, it was, oh, thank God. Yeah.
And the Palo Santo
so
that was
good.
there, and I met Sam.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
right.
you told me about Sticky Nugs.
Yeah.
And it was right there, and we had never even gone. Because when he was the GM of a cannabis retailer, so we'd been getting weed search and all this stuff, and just like,
Right.
going there.
Still?
Anyway.
You are?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
No, but
Those journeys are very short lived.
yeah.
I made it 2 years.
Oh,
I felt
wow. That's
pretty
yeah.
And
good.
as the buyer, we educated the fuck out of ourselves about the legal market.
Oh.
But I know you told me about Sticky Nugs. I'd never been, but then when we
So
went
awesome.
that day, and I was the
I
first
know.
guest where they opened up product in the store.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I flipped out because I had already been loving propers, and then I was freestyling, and then he came in with that, and then Sam comes, and then we
And
became buddies. So
They're
thank you.
really nice Oh, you're welcome.
They're so
Proper's a
great.
really nice company as well. Like
Yes.
that's a
Derek.
really nice, mom pa shops and
So
stuff.
sweet.
That I love those stories when there's like real people behind the stuff. It's also super cool to go in a store and buy something. And go, hey, my friends made this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like this is John Fowler's weed. I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely and like.
Got these sticky nugs paper.
We took ours to Jamaica. When last time we were in Jamaica, I took my Sticky Nugs rolling tray and a bunch of stuff that he had gave me, and we gifted it there. And I love, like, I don't know, I love seeing that stuff. Friends,
I agree.
stuff. And back to the support in Canada. I really
We love our
seeing
Canadian fans, by the way. We cherish you so much because of how Jacqui's saying it. Like, it is rarer. There's just less people here. So we fucking really appreciate you.
So the
man.
ones that put their mucklucks on and work their way through the snow to come to events, God, I love you. You know.
Yeah, actually.
And
Because
it's
fuck,
fall right
it's-
now, so we're fearing that cold.
But winter, yeah, it's rough here in the winter. Going out in winter sucks.
Yeah, you go out quite a bit.
For work.
Yeah,
Yes.
but still.
If it's not work, I don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when people see me everywhere, that's all, it's work. I'm
Yeah.
there for work.
Oh, we
I go
feel
to work.
you.
Like
but
I
sometimes
really
even
like
just,
staying home.
But you don't even put a limit on work then sometimes. Like
No,
in
I
terms of-
can't, Wiki is still, even though we're 4 years, we're still like startup.
Yeah, bootstrapping.
We're
all
grassroots
bootstrapping.
bootstrap. Exactly. We go, and if there's 4 events that week, then there's 4 events to go to that week. And there's, sometimes there's not enough of us, so we'll
Incredible.
do 2 or 3 things in one. We got to do it, and we've
Y'all
got
are out there,
We've
though.
got to be everywhere. We
Yeah.
try
and
really
you're
really
setting
hard.
that standard. You're doing that work that like
I'm
we
ex-
really need to see.
I'm excited for the stuff they're building right now. Like they're becoming a tech company. Not becoming, they always were, but we've just recently developed an app that's about to be launched. There's a wellness wiki app that we've had for a while, and that's where you can see all of our blog content and our podcasts, etc., and press releases and
Do y'all
news
do
releases.
meditations? Maybe you should put some discipline stoner meditations.
Maybe
on
we
there.
should put some discipline stoners
Just saying.
meditation.
That's so cool.
There's a wellness app. I love
there
that.
is a wellness app, yeah. And it could
Congrats.
have a tab. It could have a
Come on. I'll send you the
I am
Dropbox link. Put 'em
I'll
up
send
there.
you the I am the chief content officer. See, that's another thing.
Jacqui.
I never make
so
a decision without, like, I never, which
course.
is Derek's like, here, make the decisions. We trust you. We want to, and I never do. I have to. Everything I take back to the team, and even
It's good to call counsel.
is it?
I think so.
Because I do with pretty much everything.
If you have the minds to bounce off of, consider yourself fortunate. That's how I look at it.
Because I do have the minds to bounce off of it. And
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like, why the frig can't I make a goddamn decision?
We will send you guys some meditations to consider.
All right. They're coming in hot, Derek.
Do you actively do you find it hard to make decisions outside of your job?
Very.
In your
yeah.
personal
Okay.
life.
Very hard. It's like, I don't know if you met my husband. I get him to pick my clothes a lot of the times. 'Cause
Good
I
job,
I
bro.
can't. I'm circling. I'm literally in a circle, like going, okay, what should I be wearing? Pants or a sweater or a top or what color? What do you think they're wearing? I change a million. Like, it's very hard to make decisions. My hair, it's really up, down, hat, no hat, up, down,
This
up, down, hat.
platinum blonde, though, is
It's
banging.
so blonde, and that's part of, I've realized that's part of my issues as well.
Looking dope? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Talking about?
A little bleach is good, more is probably better. A
Yeah.
little Botox is good, more is probably better.
Oh, right,
a little
right,
plastic
right.
surgery is good, more is probably better.
Right.
A little Ativan, more is probably better.
Right.
So decisions are hard to make.
Yeah.
I spiral. I do, which everyone at home
It's
knows.
fun, though.
So they
Abundance.
abundance. They help.
Yeah.
Drew. So like today, to come into the city, he took the day off to be my driver.
Thank you,
to
Drew.
talk me off my ledges throughout the day. I love having a driver. I love having like someone assist.
Everyone should have a Drew.
Absolutely.
to run my ideas off of as well, because while we're driving, I'm like, I want to send this email. What do you think? And I read it to him. He's like, who are you sending it to? Okay, is that regarding? Okay, send it.
No, it's
okay.
very
Like,
lucky to bounce off someone.
I guess
Yeah.
I've never ever thought of that. I should look at it as luck. Not that
Oh
I'm
my
being a
God.
burden or that I'm lucky to have all these people to bounce. things
And they
off of.
want to serve you. We want to serve each other. We want to provide perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
Huh.
That's very fulfilling
I've never
for-
actually thought. I always think I'm such a pain in the ass.
No,
But it's
You'd only get the return service if it was fulfilling.
Oh, I love talk. I mean, I like when they come to me with, I hope I can help somehow.
Right.
I usually
It
can't.
fulfills you to contribute and give.
Not true.
But I like to
Not
hear what they got
true.
going on. How long do we normally talk to these podcasts?
I mean, it's we're coming up on time.
I'm
I
getting
think.
sweaty, but I forgot
Yeah.
to wear a bra today, so like.
We're fun. We would do this whole show in the
forgets?
nude.
And like
wear a
I feel,
bra.
You're not scared of nudity though. Neither
No,
are we.
there you
We just
go.
want to say that.
yeah.
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 Follow us on Patreon.
Listen, I'm on OnlyFans, still
Yes.
doing really well.
Yes.
We can talk about that.
yeah.
Please.
Yeah. fuck
How's it
yeah.
been
we
having
can, we can put all
OnlyFans?
your links too.
It's
Yeah.
you know what?
We've talked about having
OnlyFans is really fun. It's old content. It's stuff I've created over the last 20 years. Mostly the last 15 years is on there. They've been so supportive and started during COVID and women in the industry are on there. It's interesting. It's fun like that. They're just supporting me, showing some support. But I started to chat now. Like I've offered that, like you can chat for tips or chat for whatever. And now because my time is worth something, all of our time is worth something.
The most.
I
it's
love
worth
the
the
business
most.
angle.
So yeah, so it's very. The DMs are off on Instagram. Like I do not talk to strangers. I don't talk to strangers on Twitter. I don't
It
talk
would
to whatever.
consume
You
your
can-
whole day.
Can you imagine?
You're not a fucking info booth.
You like exactly. So it's been really really great. The auto renew is on the 15th or the 5th of each month is really exciting to see everyone auto renew.
You
and
get
stuff.
perks?
And then
You
it's
get perks for auto renew people.
Do I give perks?
Yeah,
I
like, how do you
was
set up like giving?
so.
Because
they want-
that was my main.
Giving, they
overcome.
want nude pictures.
Of course.
They just want an extra nude.
You ever get asked for feet pictures?
Nonstop. There's a website,
too.
a Jackie Child's foot website.
She has people after her feet too.
Isn't that weird?
Someone just asked me, and I tweeted about it. I was like, if you think I'm not gonna accept money for fucking feet pictures, I don't
Exactly.
give a fuck.
I commented.
Kidding me?
I think
You're
I commented on it.
Oh, bless. Yeah.
Because-
Oh, you did. That's right.
Because
That's
people
right.
pay me for my feet pictures, and
Are you fucking? Who cares?
And people ask for, which I haven't sold panties. I hate that word.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't sold. I don't really wear
Items.
them. I don't.
Right.
So I don't. So
Yeah.
I could
I'm
pretend.
a nudist, bitch. What do you mean panties?
Yeah, like I don't have any, but I
Yeah.
could pretend I could buy some and then wear them around and then sell. I don't know. I haven't got to that, but
On it, like, what are they gonna do? Clone
I'm
you with your
worried that-
DNA? Who fucking cares?
We have a friend that does that. The
which
panty
I
thing.
guess like I will if I had to or if I wanted to, I guess. But I've also now with Cannabis
Yeah.
Wiki, I'm sort of a foot out the door.
Maybe
on
that's-
on
Yeah.
OnlyFans because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm their chief content officer and they're a black-owned business, black-owned entrepreneurs. They already have an uphill battle. There's already enough. Do they
Fair.
need my drama or my stigma, edgy
edginess.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Anything that might cause more.
I feel you.
I just don't want it, especially like with funding and investors and things. And then you've got your.
But however you've built up your notoriety, that's fine.
I'm trying
you know?
to keep it classy. Why does nudity have to be? It doesn't have
Well,
to
that's
be.
what
Right?
we're
Why is it a negative?
We want to do this shit in the nude and just blur it out. Then for YouTube, we should normalize the fuck out of it. We go to Hanlon's Beach. We're like
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
it's not a weird thing.
Wouldn't
In
that be fun
Jamaica,
if you're just sitting here naked and
Yeah.
you're just like, I've
And it's
done
not a big
podcasts
deal.
like that. I used to work for Naked News. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
nice.
Sorry,
Fuck.
look, we can talk about Naked News.
We're down. Basically,
Yeah.
cut to.
So
That's a good. Yeah, we should normalize that more often.
yeah, and that
Yeah,
was
so
news, weather, and sports nude. Like it was not.
It's
it was
such a good
where
idea.
We talk about whatever the big sports, Super Bowl, etc., as well
Doesn't
as talk
Europe
about world.
have this?
It used to be like in Brazil and in France
that.
and in Russia. I believe in Japan. There was a bunch of them in the early 90s.
Everyone
And-
appreciates that.
And now they just have the one that, well, it's not Distillery District anymore, but it was in the Distillery District for the past 10 plus years. And it was a top secret location. And it was fun. It was really, I have
Oh, that's where the studio
Yeah.
was, in the distillery.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
And I have nothing negative to say. It was fun. We traveled the world doing news and sports. And
Where'd you go?
Oh, my favorite ever was Jamaica, of course,
Yeah.
which is my favorite
Being nude
place.
in Jamaica, that's the motherfucker.
And being paid to be nude and doing a cooking class with the chef and then
Yep.
then going scuba diving with their world-class scuba instructors, and then have the whole class naked, and then do it naked, and then end like the yoga on the beach at sunrise, yoga on the beach at sunset.
We did that.
The cooking thing was really cool though, because I had gone to It was a hedonism Jamaica. I had gone
we went there too.
a bunch of times
love it
before
there.
this interview, or that I had scheduled. So I was really excited to meet the chef and meet the people and talk to them and like get them out of their comfort zone too a little bit. Like it was fun. It was really fun. It was great. It was a torrential downpour at the time. I'll never forget. Like
the rainy.
Naked News was fun, and I'm still very good friends with everyone. And then I've done things with them since. I'm at the sex show, the Taboo show next week.
Oh, cool.
Dope.
And I have a co-host for the Green Room is Madison Baines from the Naked News. So instead of Derek, my normal co-host.
What's up, Madison?
She's awesome. Maddie Purrs. That's her handle. But she's an amazing person, and we work together well. And she's going to co-host with me for the weekend.
That's amazing.
That's
So
so
that's your
cool.
homie from the last gig. and now
Yeah,
you're with her here.
which is really fun because
fun.
we work together really well at Naked News. And then, and she used to come to my home, and we'd do segments from the house, like cooking shows and stuff for Naked News.
Now
and,
there's OnlyFans.
And it,
No, I'm just kidding.
so the next couple days at the sex show are going to be really, really fun. And we just,
so
the
cool.
Green Room thought we'd come, and we're going to talk to, I've already got different porn stars lined up and plastic surgeons and all kinds. Like it's just, we're going to talk about sex and cannabis. We're going to just talk about cannabis. We're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about life. And that's
that'll be so nice.
We tried to do a sex episode, and it was like,
really,
you know?
Well, we were like
we
during
had that
COVID,
intention to be-
our whole sex life revamped.
Yeah,
And-
great revamp.
And we were
great
like,
revamp.
great revamp.
Total, yeah.
Because we've been together for 14 years too. So,
oh my goodness.
So then we were like, oh my God, this is so good. And we're so good at it. And we should talk about it on the podcast. Blah, 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 blah. And then we were like, yeah. So then we just started talking about it. And this was probably like, I don't know, 30 episodes ago or something. So it was a while ago.
Maybe even more. 40.
when
but-
you used to be shy.
Yeah. When I, that
Yes.
literally was just you. Like,
really?
If you listen to any other podcast, I definitely just like, I was
Maybe
just
you're
nervous.
just so
I was just
high.
nervous. I was nervous and high, but you were the first guest that I hadn't met yet.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So I just felt like
Yeah, you were early.
I was just a little.
Yeah, I remember the she's like, I'm not really, okay, how do you want to be interested in, what do you, okay, I'm just going to let Ellevan lead. And
That intro too probably was better than this one, though, because I did my research and I was like, I have a little intro.
But that's the data thing, but this is more heart connected. But you
Yeah.
do the head. And sometimes she does have like masculine qualities like that, like data, and I have more feeling qualities, like more feminine qualities.
the heart and the head.
Yeah, and then they work together. But yeah, super interesting. I love the topic of nudity and sex and that edginess and exploring why it's edgy and why it shouldn't be edgy and how.
You'd be a good guest on Naked News.
Yeah, I'm down.
yeah.
Oh, Ellevan would be a good guest on Naked News.
Yeah,
I
I'm
should
down.
tell Maddie I got a guest for you guys when you
Yeah.
do your music segments.
Let's do
I think we're at close to 90 minutes at this point.
All right.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I know.
What
fuck?
the hell? We
Like-
could just
Well,
talk
we were just about to
shit
talk
all
We're
day.
talking about the fucking taboo show. When why you cut me off?
I'm sorry. We can keep talking. I just want to let you know. I want to let Drew know.
I guess that is. I guess that's good.
I
Yeah,
smoke
we could
weed.
just
My
talk
name's
for-
Jacqui Childs. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
We got to read something.
Yeah.
What are we gonna read?
Do you have a fun fact?
No, I don't do facts when guests are on.
And I say it every time. I'm going to
Every
read
single
something,
time.
and
Okay.
I want you to just call the number.
Okay. This is fun. Is this
Yep.
a magic trick or
we
is this a
we read
spiritual
from.
read?
It's a little bit spiritual. We read from different types of books, and it's
Look at the Ralph just looks. Yeah, that's just my dad getting a book.
know.
Ralph
I
looked
love
up
you,
and
Ralph.
actually went back to sleep. He looked over
Yeah.
and just went, okay.
Sweet.
Like so.
Yeah, take a
cute.
pic, Win, so we can put it in.
Aw.
That's my boy. Okay, so thank you so much for hanging out and joining us.
Oh,
This
thank
has
you
been
for
so
having me.
lovely. We're gonna cap this off and
Oh,
finish.
hold on. Thanks.
Love it. We're gonna finish off with some wisdom. I brought 3 of my favorite books here: Neville Resurrection, Tao Te Ching, and The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. And I want you to say A, B, or C.
B.
And can you please choose a number between 4 and 75?
73.
Ooh.
The year I was born. You know, that's a long scroll when you got to do the date. You know, when you check into all the
fuck
websites
that.
for cannabis.
Yeah,
I'm like,
motherfuckers.
oh, okay, can I just be born in 98?
Yeah. You can.
I am most days.
Tao Te Ching, number 73. The Tao is always at ease. It overcomes without competing, answers without speaking a word, arrives without being summoned, accomplishes without a plan. Its net covers the whole universe, and though its meshes are wide, it doesn't let a thing slip through.
Ooh.
That's the Tao.
It don't miss a thing, is
It
what it
doesn't let
said.
us-
Yeah.
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 Yep.
We're all playing roles here. We're all playing parts in each other's lives.
Yeah, this is it overcomes without competing. This is symbolic to your
That's
individuality.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, and answers without speaking a word, just by being. And it's so important that we're just being. That we're like being this now.
Yeah.
It may feel awkward and weird, especially in the cannabis industry sometimes, but to stand up and be the first, it's harder.
So
Yeah.
a very cool lady in the cannabis space said that to me. She's like, you're just, because I don't like Trailblazer or whatever. And she said, you're just ahead of your time.
Yeah.
And she's a much older lady that's been in the industry a long, long time. Very successful. Lives in the States, of course. 'Cause we don't celebrate people.
So no, we got to change that affirmation.
Okay.
We gotta switch. We gotta say, I'm so happy and grateful now that Canada's waking up to a star system.
I'm going to go buy one of those party horns, and every time something happens, I'll just...
Or something like, I trust that the people
Yeah.
who are meant to find me will.
Ooh,
Oh.
that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
well,
have that. Yeah, you have to. trust.
basically, as we complain about an infrastructure that's not around us, we realize that we are being it.
Can you tell me, do I speak too negatively?
I don't think that would be one
Oh.
statement to say is negative or positive, because it's all just an expression.
Yeah.
But can we always adjust our narrative to sound like an uplifting affirmation rather than a harsh, that's the way it is affirmation? Probably, yeah. But I'd say it's a journey, right? Like you go from like being 10% no, or 10% yes and 90% no, and then you slowly build it up.
Yeah, because you can never
20%.
jump from like too low to too high. Like, just if you're really sad, I'm sure you
I
understand
think
this.
you're killing it.
Like, if you're in a state of depression or anxiety, you can't just be like, I'm happy now. Like, so
Yeah.
it's not that. And we really try to articulate that on the show, because
We'd never say just
it's
fake
more
a positive.
Yeah, like wherever feeling state you're coming from, you're just looking for the next best thing, not the ideal thing.
You
So
can't
you're-
jump
if
from
you're-
1 to
if
10.
you're-
You got to go 1, 2,
you know, if
3.
you're at numb, you're looking for sadness.
Right.
If you're at sadness, you're potentially looking for anger or frustration.
Yeah,
or,
go through the steps.
And then you're looking for bored, and then you're looking for neutral, and then you're looking for maybe joyful from neutral is even too high.
And
But
basically just
hopeful,
to have awareness.
hopeful, and then joy. So you're just one step at a time. It's never numbness to joyful.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Just like episodes, and these get so much better. This is my favorite.
I know,
now.
this
like,
was
this
so
is now my
fun.
favorite one.
Yeah.
And then John Fowler would be your favorite.
Yeah.
But then
I'll
we'll,
tune in for that.
You'll
He'll
only be
mine.
favorite for a week, 2
Hell
weeks.
yeah.
but then we'll
tops.
have you
No,
on
I'm
again.
just kidding.
And then I'll be the re-favorite.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Exactly. Blessings. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
This
Any
was
final
so
words
fun.
you want to leave folks with?
I was going to say be kind, but
Why not? That's great.
be kind.
Subscribe, join us, follow. We'll put all of the links in the thing.
Get all of us on OnlyFans
Do your best.
and Patreon.
Yeah, do your best.
Love each
That's
other.
all we ask.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
So fun.
Disciplined stoners.
The gateway drug to mindfulness.